We anticipate the green this time around. 77 laps have been completed. When they come down, it will complete lap number 78. Saldana, Parsons, Kenyon, and Mockler, the first 4 in the Haute 100 from Terre Haute. Green flag once again, back to racing. Joe Saldana has been dominating this competition ever since Stan Fox dropped out on lap number 47. Now Johnny Parsons challenges Joe Saldana down the backstretch, but Saldana outpowers him into turn number 3 and keeps the lead. Again, we mentioned the word is that Johnny Parsons has no brakes in this car. He pitches the car into turns 1 and 3 high to get the car slowed down just a little bit. Now he keeps it in the middle of the racetrack in turns number 2, still running in second position, but what a great day he has had. Johnny Parsons, who has worked with us on several occasions on Auto Racing 81.
Well, of course, this racetrack is oval in design, but the pattern that Johnny Parsons is running is like a giant diamond. If you can imagine a diamond wedged in among an oval and just chopping almost the corners off so that there are almost only 2 turns instead of 4. That is the way Johnny Parsons is running this racetrack. But I'll tell you, Saldana gave him one look, and now he's showing his heels to Parsons. Joe would have nothing of that battle with JP.
Look at Mel Kenyon to the inside of Johnny Parsons there in the 3rd turn, challenging for 2nd. So Parsons getting a challenge from Mel Kenyon here on lap number 81. Mel Kenyon has been running in the top 3 or 4 all afternoon, has never led this race, but has never been lower than 4th. And right now he's running in 3rd position. Warren Mockler on the inside of Kenyon there on the backstretch, trying to work himself into 3rd position, cannot do it. And so the battle here for 2nd position continues. It's been going on for the last several laps. It involves Parsons, Kenyon, and Warren Mockler.
You know, Bob, usually when you start up front in a race, you don't expect to be in traffic too much all day long, particularly in a race where the field has started straight up with the fastest qualifiers. But Warren Mockler, who started on the outside in the front row, 3 cars once again almost touching, battling for position number 2. Talking about Mockler, he started on the outside of the front row. He's been in heavy traffic all day. He's had a fight on his hands every single lap of this race, and Mockler has really performed well. He has the advantage right now on Kenyon and seems to be moving in on Parsons coming down the backstretch. Those are the 3 cars going at it. A tussle for the runner-up position here in the 1981 Haute 100.
Warren Mockler doing a great job, and it looks like that he is going to sneak by both Parsons and Kenyon. You can see Parsons raise his hand there as he came up the 4th turn. I really don't know who he was signaling to, but he did raise his hand off of the steering wheel. It is now Warren Mockler moving into 2nd position with Kenyon 3rd, and Parsons falling back to 4th position, running in 5th. And here's someone that we have not talked about much this afternoon. In 5th place at this time is Hank Rogers in car number 23.
Hank Rogers Jr., who is from the East Coast, has been running a consistent and steady race. He's been able to stay out of trouble all day long, and he most recently eclipsed Jerry Knuckles and Larry Hillerud and moved into that position. And now, of course, he finds himself running in 5th with the great attrition that we've had here in the Haute 100 today.
This is, again, the battle for 2nd position involving Mockler, Mel Kenyon, and Johnny Parsons. Joe Saldana has stretched out the lead by almost a quarter of a straightaway now on 2nd place Warren Mockler. So Joe Saldana continues to set the pace, and we continue to watch this battle for 2nd position. Right now, Warren Mockler in car number 7. 2nd, Mel Kenyon, though, to the outside, trying to get by, unable to do so down the straightaway. We will be continuing to watch Warren Mockler run that inside through, because that apparently is the way they set the car up originally as far as gearing is concerned, and so that's where he must run. A very critical line, though, that he must take to avoid those very tough ruts that are on the inside of the racetrack. The leader continues to be Joe Saldana off of the 4th turn. This is the completion of lap number 88. We only have 12 more laps to go, and it's going to be a great battle, Larry, for 2nd place, as Joe Saldana appears to have this race well in hand at this time. But boy, we have seen a lot of things happen, and it can happen in the last 10 laps as easily as it can in the first 10.
Bob, he doesn't look like it, but just a theory. I think Mel Kenyon is very tired. Look at the helmet in the cockpit, listening to the right, the starboard side of that race car. Usually he sits straight and erect in that car. Now, it's just a theory. The helmet is probably supported by a neck strap that's tied around his left shoulder, but I really think that Mel Kenyon may be a little fatigued, but look at him go. He's still got his foot down. He's driving just as hard as he did in the early stages of the race. Kenyon and Mockler have been tied together like they were on a string, like they've been married, almost like Siamese twins all day long. They just can't shake one another. They're probably going to go right down to the wire for second position.
Well, Mel Kenyon, of course, a veteran race driver. He has won the Usac midget title 5 times, is the current points leader, and is going to lengthen his lead on Rich Vogler, who's in second position going into this race. Rich Vogler earlier this afternoon involved in a very violent flip in the third turn. Rich Vogler right now is in a hospital not too far away from this racetrack, and hopefully he is okay. That is the last word we got, but they are probably going to keep Rich Vogler overnight. Second and third positions continue to be held by Mel Kenyon and Warren Mockler. In fourth place continues to be Johnny Parsons, and in fifth is Hank Rogers. Sixth place at this point is the number 51 belonging to Larry Hillerud.
Well, Bob, we are now less than 10 laps from the finish, and there are several crew members along the front stretch just over the corrugated steel wall that marks the inside of the racetrack here, who are coming out and giving the lead driver signal. And I tell you, I really think it's a fraternal affair. I'm not convinced that it is the crew members of any particular crew that's out there. I think they're kind of signaling all the drivers to let them know that there are less than 10 laps to go. So everybody now is just trying to nurse not only their cars, but their own selves home free. And Kenyon is closing in on Saldana. Mel Kenyon is definitely getting closer.
Well, we have now 6 laps to go as Saldana brings his number 9 off of the fourth turn, crosses the start-finish line. 94 laps have been completed. Warren Mockler in third drops back just a little bit. It could be that we're going to have a battle instead of for second place for the lead, as Mel Kenyon is indeed closing in on the leader, Joe Saldana. Quite a bit of racetrack between the third place car of Warren Mockler and the fourth car of Johnny Parsons. So now we settle back and watch the last 5 laps of the Hot 100 from Terre Haute. It's been a tremendous afternoon. Unfortunately, we have seen 7 cars flip. Mike Craig in qualifications, Greg Leffler in the feature, Lee Earnshaw and Gene Ginnington, and we have a problem with Joe Saldana's car.
Joe Saldana slowed suddenly coming out of turn number 2 on his 96th circuit of this race. Saldana's car lost power momentarily, and Kenyon darted by on the inside. He just barely missed him. We had a momentarily extremely precarious situation, and now it's Kenyon and the young driver Warren Mockler who might do battle for the victory here in the Hot 100 for this year. Kenyon has about a 5 or 6 car length lead over Mockler. We're coming down this time to complete lap number 97.
3 more laps to go before we have the checkered flag, and Mel Kenyon is your leader, having taken over the lead from Joe Saldana, who slowed suddenly but is still on the pace, running third. Warren Mockler in number 7 is right behind Mel Kenyon, and look at Mel Kenyon.
Engine is in trouble. Mel Kenyon is losing an engine. We're just 2 laps from the end of this race. Can Warren Mockler catch him? What's going to happen?
Mel Kenyon, you can see the fire shooting from the engine of that car, and he has slowed down appreciably. Warren Mockler goes into the lead on the 98th lap. 2 more laps to go. It's going to be a side-by-side finish, I think. Warren Mockler. No, Mockler pulls ahead of Mel Kenyon, and Kenyon is slowing. Oh, what a tremendous win for this young man. We have more or less followed his racing career on ESPN. We saw him drive several times at the Indianapolis Speedrome last year. If he can hold on for 1 more lap, Warren Mockler will win the Hot 100, the world's richest midget race, one of the world's richest midget races. Still running second at this point is Mel Kenyon. Joe Saldana has dropped further off the pace, and Johnny Parsons is running in third position. Hank Rogers is running fourth.
The number 4 corner, it looks like it's his, Bob. What a tremendous story.
Unbelievable. Warren Mockler has won the Hot 100. What a happy young man he is going to be.